For my diabetes project, I've chosen to do it on dogs since I have two very large ones. What you have laying in front of me and you is Macy. She is my 1-year-old Great Dane, almost one. You will meet her on Monday. This here is Mia. She is my 9-year-old, almost 10-year-old baby. Very, very precious. Diabetes mellitus, more commonly known as diabetes, either type 1 or type 2. Type 1 diabetes is where the pancreas is not producing enough insulin. Type 2, pancreas produces no insulin. Diabetes can be hereditary. It could be from your animal being obese, too much sugars, table scraps, bad food, bad exercise maintenance. What's happening in the body of the pancreas is not producing the insulin it needs to convert the glucose into energy. Signs and symptoms, I do have a little note here because I have early, later, and other symptoms. Early signs would show excessive urination, thirst, hunger, weight loss, even with a good appetite. Later signs would be anorexia, no appetite. Sorry, phone call. Monitoring on my phone. Vomiting, lethargy, and depression. Other symptoms would include cataracts, which is a side effect of diabetes. Sorry. I do have my diabetes cheat sheet here and my diets written down, and it's the signs and symptoms. But going back to this, we're gonna start. We did signs and symptoms. Insulin therapy. A lot of dogs are dependent on insulin, especially with type 2 diabetes. Storage would be to keep it in the refrigerator. Keep it refrigerated and cold because it is maintained very well in cold temperatures. When handling, you need to be careful not to stick yourself with needles. Do not shake the vial. Roll it in your hands rather than shake. You're going to need alcohol pads. You're going to need your syringe, needle, the insulin, the clean area on the animal. The injection technique, which I was taught for an animal, not just a human, although I have dealt with many human patients, would be an abdomen right around here, making the tent technique, but not going in straight forward, going in at an angle so as to not go straight through both sides of the skin. Monitoring the animal's diabetes. The syringe that I would use, no needle, and it's not scored, although it should be at 30, 50, or 100 units. That's the normal doses. You have your test strips, which you would stick into your glucose meter. Let's stick it into the bottom. Let's see. Go in there as so. Once you have punctured the skin to get some blood, a little bit of blood would go in the bottom of this test strip. The test strip would send the blood and the accurate readings to the glucose monitor, and it would give you the accurate glucose levels. Normal glucose levels should be between 75 and 120 milligrams. Anything higher, you would need to, or anything lower, you would need to give more sugar. Anything higher, you would probably need to give something like Humalog or something to lower the insulin levels. Feeding, I have my list of diets here. The diet must be low in sugar and carbs, rich in soluble fibers, because that makes the dog's body more responsive to the insulin. You need to feed your dog at regular intervals. Instead of one large meal, you need to do 2 to 3 meals a day. That makes it makes the dog's body easier to release the carbs or into the bloodstream. You need to cut down on fatty foods and table scraps, which I'm a big, I give them my scraps. Treats instead of dog bones or meaty treats that I like to give them. Vegetables. She's not good with vegetables. She will eat anything, including my couch. My daughter is manning the camera. She's doing very well so far. That's who I was just talking to, though. A couple of veterinary diets would be Hills WD, Royal Canin, Diabetic HF18, or Purina Veterinary DTS DCO. These are high in meat with a lot of complex carbs. Monitoring your animals is very important. You want to do the blood test as much as your veterinary requires or suggests. They know what they're talking about. That's why they do this, and that's why they are in charge of the care of your animals. They are very, very special to us all, and we just want to make sure they're safe and healthy. That's it. Thank you.